Bottom half of the third inning we go with the Cubs leading Brad Penny and the Marlins in Game 2 of this National League Championship Series 5-0. 2 runs in the opening inning on a bases loaded 2-out 2-run single by Randall Simon. A 1-out RBI single in the second by Lofton. And then a monster home run to straightaway center field off the bat of Sammy Sosa.
For as disappointed as Brad Penny is right now, obviously be down by 5 in the third, he has to get back to making his pitches and realizing the deeper he goes into the game will help and save his bullpen for the rest of the series.
Boy, now you know how important that is. I mean, these series can turn into lengthy, grueling, taxing series on bullpens especially.
Well, with the off day tomorrow, that's going to help him better. Urbina had 2 innings yesterday with 28 pitches, and Fox threw an inning and 2/3 with 33 pitches.
Two and two. That's why it is so critical as Nate Bump now will begin to throw in the Marlin bullpen. To have your big guns deliver big-time games and pitch deep into games. I mean, who could forget the greatest pitching performance by a team in the history of baseball during World Series play occurred 2 years ago. The top 2 of Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson. Both of those guys going 7, 8, 9. And the Cubs are banking on the same thing from Pryor and Wood.
That was a hanging curveball, but sometimes a hanging curveball could be good in the sense that it's so high, the hitter sees it as a real juicy pitch to hit, and it stays high enough where they can't get the bat head on it.
2-2. Overthrew a fastball there. Full count.
Its release point, it's around the curveball a little bit, which is okay so long as you're finish it. To me, that's just an overthrown curveball. Brad is trying to throw it 100 miles an hour as opposed to letting the grip do the work.
That one launched deep into the night as well off the bat of Ramirez. Hooked into right field by Simon.
First pitch swinging.
Good curveball. Went down and got it.
Night and a very short night at the same time for Brad Penny. He was not on the division series roster, and the rookie right-hander comes in trailing 6-0. Bump came over from the Giants in exchange for Livan Hernandez in 1999, a former #1 pick by the San Francisco Giants.
This is an unusual move, in my opinion, Tom, to see the pitching change this quickly. Penny doesn't have it. There's no question about that. But you're either going to see Nate Bump and Tahara go out there and throw about 4 or 5 innings in this, or you're going to see him use everybody 1 or 1 1/3 inning. Because, in my opinion, you're not coming back to win this game against Pryor. So you either leave Penny out there, or you better do one of 2 things. Use 2 guys that you're not planning to use the rest of this series. Nate Bump may be one of those guys. Or you throw everyone you have for 1 inning, because you cannot burn up your bullpen whether you have tomorrow off or not.
See, Boston has jumped in front of the Yankees 2-0. Swinging a foul ball back out of play. Game 1 of that American League Championship Series. And Boston, after being dominated by the Yanks the last number of years during the regular season, gave New York everything it wanted and then some this year.
Yes. Now what is he going to do here, do you think, as far as what his bullpen's concerned now? Does that guy stay out there and throw 3 innings?
No, I think he's going to go 1-1-1 with Pavano, Helling,
Johnny Holstaff. Everybody's going to get a chance.
Tahara. You're right. With the 1 day off, it's not that much, especially if you end up, if they start really continue to hit, you're going to pull a couple more guys and they throw too many pitches. Now it affects Friday. But you still have 4 guys that haven't thrown. He's hoping he can get basically 1-1-1-1 out of them.
That looked like a pretty good breaking ball right there, and Pudge held it to give Chuck Merriweather another look.
It's a curveball that, well, I like it.
That might have even fooled Pudge a little bit. Watch him go up and then back down to his knees to get it.
Popped up, foul territory, and out of play. Still 3-2 on Alex Gonzalez. The Cubs with an early 6-0 lead. This Cub team had a hard time scoring runs during the regular season. They averaged just at 4.5 runs per game. And here in the first 2 games of this league championship series, flexing their muscles. 14 runs in 13 innings. Three-2 again. And a ground ball should be 2. Look at Gonzalez to Castillo. How about that? And they call the runner safe at first. We were watching baseball on a night in October where both the Cubs and the Boston Red Sox led a series, led a game.
We're even playing.
On the outside corner, a strike.
Take another look at the tremendous defense by Gonzalez. Look at the flip with his glove to Castillo. Castillo with his back to the play. Boy, that was a closer play at first than it looked at first. That could have been a bang-bang double play.
Low and away to Baco. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Plays like that are the reason why the Florida Marlins are in the NLCS. Great defense, especially up the middle, will always keep you in the games and also make a pitching staff better.
Many have said this is the best defense up the middle of any team in Major League history. Some have made that argument.
Who's arguing?
You know, you go back to the days, for example, of the Big Red Machine, and some might say that they had Cesar Geronimo in center field, who won 6 straight Gold Gloves. They had Davey Concepcion, who won almost 10 Gold Gloves at short. Joe Morgan, a multi-Gold Glove winning second baseman, and the greatest defensive catcher to ever play, in my opinion, Johnny Bench. In the air, left center field, hit pretty well, and off the ivy. Rounding third and coming home is Gonzalez on a double by Paul Baco. Strike called to Mark Pryor, all 7 runs. Charged to Brad Penny in his 2+ innings. Hit down the right field line and out of play. 0-2 to Pryor.
Well, Tommy, if you said that in your era of baseball, the best player that sits behind the plate is Johnny Bench, then the second best is the kid that's sitting behind the plate right now.
Yep. And some would say that Rodriguez is the better defender between the two.
10 Gold Gloves. The only guy, in my opinion, in the game today that can change the game defensively. There are very few guys that change baseball games when they don't have a bat in their hand. He's one of them. Take your running game and put it in your back pocket.
You see Rodriguez tied with those 10 straight Gold Gloves with the aforementioned Johnny Bench.
Talking about the defense up the middle, of course, catcher being that part of that scenario, it makes the pitching staff better because you don't worry about so much the runners on base, even if they're green runners that steal a lot and can get good jumps. When you got a catcher like that behind home plate, go ahead, run.
Slow roller by the mound. Castillo throws out Pryor with a 7-run cushion, and we're just in the last of the 3rd inning. Strike 1 to Kenny Lofton. If you're wondering, only twice this year has Mark Pryor had a game where he allowed 6 runs or more. Against the Houston Astros on May the 23rd, allowed 7 runs in 6 2/3 innings. And against Atlanta on the 11th of July, that was the game he had the collision with Marcus Giles, gave up 6 runs in 4 innings. Base hit left field. Pryor has not allowed 8 runs in a game. And it's 8-0 Chicago.
Same thing. Kenny Lofton, outside corner. Let me just slap it into left. Same thing that Baco did. All we're doing right now is hitting the ball where you're pitching it.
Especially with 2 strikes.
Shorten down, hit the other way.
Resnick is singled and grounded out to Castillo at second base. That one comes all the way to the backstop, and Lofton will advance on to second.
Pudge kind of came up on that one. We'll rarely see him do that, but it was a fastball. Toughest ball to defend is a fastball in the dirt because you don't expect it to be there.
Well, he stayed down on one last night in a critical part of the ball game. You wonder if an inning like this is just kind of getting his mind off the situation and being a little frustrated because he didn't stay down on that.
Get me out of the way.
Drop to their knees, collapse, turn your shoulders in like a shell of a turtle.
1-2 on Grzelcyk. Nate Bump on in relief of Brad Penny, who had his 2nd straight disappointing postseason start here tonight. Swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. But not before the Cubs get 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and they tack on 3 more